Good afternoon to you all, good afternoon. It is Sunday and a sunny day, and it's not hot, but it's pleasantly warm. We've done the things that we're supposed to do on a Sunday, and there are things that we're not supposed to do, and we can argue about that. But let's have a look to see if there's something that we can do. And it's not as if we're short of things to do. Lots of things need finishing, and some things need starting. Now this all needs taping up and needs plastering. At least it's boarded up all the way through. That's something, isn't it? Just a little quick word about plasterboard ceilings. When you put them up, you run the screws in, but then you want to give the screw just that extra little bit so that it's sunk into the plasterboard. So that one, for example, is just about perfect. It's slightly below the surface of the board. Means that when I trowel across it, the trowel won't snag on the screw. That one is a little bit proud. So before I put tape on, I'll just run over these screws and just put that last little twist on them just to get them set. And then we'll see if we can get some tape up. I might even mix some plaster. I might not. Nothing's stopping me. I've drunk tea. Well, that's that bit. All the screws set nicely, tape on everywhere. I guess the next thing to do is to mix some plaster. Those of you that have never mixed plaster, it's not a bad idea to get someone else to do it. It's not a fun job. When you shovel the plaster out of the sack, it's sort of, yeah, it's not fun as such, but you need to put the water in the bucket before the plaster dust. The advantage of mixing your own plaster is you've got a vision of how thick you want it. Now, for this job, I want it moderately thin, but when I'm plastering rough walls, the first coat you can put on a little bit, thick and more plaster than water. Yeah, doing your own mixing, your own labouring, you mix it how you think you're going to want it. I'm told it takes about 60 years to train a labourer to always provide plaster how the plasterer wants it. But yes, that's the next job. Let's knock up some plaster. Well, that's, yeah, not too bad. It's time now for me to clean my tools and mix up some more. I only mix a small amount of plaster because I'm not a good plasterer. A good plasterer would throw this on at 4 times the speed that I do and it would go on perfect first time. I'm not that good, and what I find is if I mix up a big mix of plaster, I end up wasting too much. It starts to go dry before I've got it all on. So I'm going to clean my tools, scrape out the basin and mix some more. Well, that's where I'm going to leave this for today, and you're going to say, but you haven't finished. I know I haven't finished. Plenty more to do, but the plaster started to go a bit too stiff. And yeah, the next job is to clean the tray, and I know by the time of day that it is that I'm going to run out of light for working in here. What do we do with stiff plaster when it's too stiff to put on the ceiling? Well, we throw it on the wall. I shall be throwing plaster on these walls for a little while to come yet. Not bad for a pigsty though, is it? Do you think the pigs will like it when I've finished? They'd recognise some of this.